Hey TikTok, this is Dr. Cunningham. I decided to pop up on TikTok just to follow up with consideration of my thoughts regarding what's happening now as a response to the protest. I recently made a remark on social media saying that the government is responding in a petty way. And it is something I was alluding to, my thoughts regarding the what I would say is the insurrection. And so it has to do with juxtaposing the insurrection from 2021 and the ICE protest in Los Angeles. January 6th, 2021, toward the end of his term, he was making very clear statements about how he wanted people who were MAGA loyalists and Republican President Trump loyalists to respond. And so he was making statements where during his hour-long speech, he was suggesting people to march toward the Capitol and assuring that his audience would be with him, and to demand the Congress only count the electors who have been lawfully slated and peacefully and patriotically make their voices heard. We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Estimated 2,000 to 2,500 people entered the Capitol building during the attack. And according to those particular times, it was incited insurrection. And people participated in vandalism and looting, including the offices and then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other Congress members. Rioters assaulted Capitol police officers and journalists. And during that time, it was Capitol Police who evacuated and locked down both chambers of Congress and several buildings in the complex. So it was Capitol Police who was responsible for quelling the situation. Pipe bombs were found in the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee headquarters. Pipe bombs. Trump resisted sending the National Guard to quell the mob. That afternoon, in a Twitter video, he restated false claims about the election and told his supporters to go home in peace. The Capitol was cleared of rioters by mid-evening. The electoral vote count was resumed and completed by the morning of January 7th. About 1:15 in the afternoon is when people started storming the Capitol building. And it wasn't until mid-evening when they were able to clear the building. Okay, so you see the timeline. Now, if we look at, excuse me, and juxtapose June 7th, which was what the situation that occurred in Los Angeles, Paramount, where there were protesters regarding the ICE situation, where there were ICE raiding Home Depot. This particular day, people were protesting in Paramount, and the number of people was anywhere from 350 to 400 people over in Paramount. On the same day, there was another group of people, about 850. There might have been more than 850 people. However, if we add 850 and 400 people, that's still less than 2,000 to 2,500 people. So, y'all hear what I'm saying? And so about 1,200 people, if you combine Compton and Paramount, Originally, it was the local police who were quelling the situation, and it started at about 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m., where local police were quelling the situation. It did erupt into a situation where vandalism occurred, literally, and setting a car on fire in the street, where eventually, at 6 p.m., Trump signed a presidential memorandum authorizing the deployment of 2,000 National Guard members to Los Angeles, saying it is necessary to address the lawlessness. Now, I recognize that there's always a potential for multiple groups in different regions of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a major city with many different regions. At the same time, 1,250 people, and Capitol building had 2,500 people. And they utilized Capitol Police to quell the situation. Los Angeles is a county, and each town or city within the county has its own police. Each region has police. Were all resources utilized? Was there enough resource for the local to manage the protests? And then federal, meaning was police, SWAT, then FBI, and then so forth and so on, before considering National Guard. Because then the following day, they were sending the Marines. My gosh. I just find this so interesting because, again, before you send the military, really requires making sure that you've exhausted all other resource before you start sending military against your own people. Really. Like, it requires major civil disobedience before we start utilizing the military against United States people. Wow. What are you all's thoughts? That's why I say petty. That's why